where you're coming from, your company, as well as how long you've been using Alteryx and Tableau. So now I'd like to take a moment and allow the user group leaders to introduce themselves. So maybe we can first start with Jeremy Poole.
Oh, you caught me on another window. Yeah. Jeremy Poole, I've been co-lead of the Tableau user group for about 5.5, almost 6 years now. Here in Charlotte, working with William, Rashid, Derrell, now Natalie. Excited to be here for our first joint event.
Great. Thanks, Jeremy. Next, we'll move to William.
You're on mute, Will.
Hey, good afternoon. So William Aubrey, along with the rest of this team, we've been leading the Charlotte Tableau user group for the last 7 years. Really excited to be partnering again with Alteryx. So thanks for having us.
Great. We'll go to Derrell next.
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Derrell Pate. I'm here in the Charlotte office as well. Been using Tableau and Alteryx for a couple of years now.
Awesome. Thanks. All right. We'll go to our Alteryx user group leaders, starting with Eric.
Hey guys, this is Eric Pate. I'm with Train Technologies. I've been using Alteryx for about going around 7 years, and I'm excited to kind of listen in and see this, see what we get out of this collaboration today.
Excellent. All right, Rob.
Hi, Rob Dalley, coming to you from Daimler Trucks North America, our Fort Mill office. We've been using Alteryx and Tableau for quite a bit, and we use them together extensively. So really looking forward to this presentation today and kind of bringing these two very like-minded communities together.
Awesome. All right, we'll go to Tony next.
Natalie, Tony Silva here, Bank of America. I've been using Alteryx and Tableau for about 5 years. Been on the Alteryx leadership team for about 4 years, and looking forward to seeing, pulling these two teams together and seeing how we can improve our processes and automation here. Thanks for pulling this all together.
Tony, did you say 4 years? Has it been that long?
Yeah.
Yes, time flies when you're having fun.
I know.
So last,
we missed a couple.
Least, Rashid, you want to introduce yourself? You keep us on track and make all these events possible.
Yeah, not a problem. Hey, everyone, I'm Rashid Manat, longtime member of the Charlotte Tableau user group and now a Tableau employee. So I'm on this kind of weird kind of fence line with these guys, but yeah, definitely happy to join in and help any way I can.
Awesome. We're
still going to see you at the Wells Fargo things.
I'll still go if they invite me. Derrell works at Wells Fargo. I mean, he still has friends over there, so hopefully they'll still like me. But I don't know. That's up to Derrell.
Hopefully we'll see you over there.
Great. And just as a reminder, please utilize the chat feature. We'd love to know where you're coming from, how long you've been using Tableau and Alteryx. And William will be monitoring the chat, and we'll try to address everyone's questions. All right. Okay, so now it is my pleasure to introduce our guest speakers. So we have Tony Silva, who is part of our Charlotte Alteryx user group leadership team. And Tony is Senior Vice President at Bank of America, a business control manager. Tony has served in many operational and engineering roles over his 28 years with Bank of America. But over the past 12 years, he shifted his focus to building process improvement solutions. Initially, he leveraged Oracle, SQL, and Excel. Then about 5 or 6 years ago, he started using Alteryx and Tableau and never looked back. I think we can all relate to that. These analytical tools have helped advance Tony's career while increasing the speed of his work and making it easier to hand off new solutions to teammates, enabling him to advance to the next project. Tony has been on the leadership team of the Alteryx user group for, as he said, 4 years now. And Tony enjoys using Alteryx in and outside of Bank of America. Tony leverages Alteryx for different things through volunteerism. He is very passionate for delivering financial literacy training as well as building houses for Habitat for Humanity families. Tony is married with 4 children. Now that they're empty nesters, he and his wife are enjoying more time to relax and travel when work permits. Additionally, I'd like to introduce Liz Cook Mahood, who is also a senior vice president. And Liz comes from the best team at Bank of America. She is an HR analytics and data governance consultant. Liz has a business support background and is a recent adopter and champion of both Alteryx and Tableau. She recently changed roles to further her passion for simplifying her data and advancing in her analytical career. In her previous role, she and Tony were partners in crime in standing up Bank of America Chief Administrative Office Location and Space Management Technology Platform. In Liz's free time, she's an avid cyclist. She is preparing for a cycle that is, can't even wrap my head around this, 250 miles in 2023. She and her wife also discovered that camping in the wilderness and gardening at home are 2 of their favorites, thanks to the pandemic. Today, Tony and Liz will team up to show us how Alteryx, Tableau, and SharePoint can be used to create a streamlined tool set to produce management report dashboards with the ability to export PDF or PowerPoint decks for those who are reluctant to leverage real-time dashboards. What a shame. All right, now I'm going to turn it over to Tony and Liz to take us away.
All right. Thanks again, Natalie. So I'm sure most of the folks on this call have experienced those fire drills where you're getting ready to head out the door, and last minute you get a call for one more change. And that's what Liz and I were faced with, that and some other issues. And the solution we're about to discuss helps to address that issue, because what was happening is our non-technical folks that don't have Alteryx or Tableau wanted to change the dashboard going to the executives. Now, we can't share our internal data, so we had to use Superstore data in our example, just to show you the concept. But the concept is very portable, fairly simple, and it can be replicated. Like once you build one, you can replicate the SharePoint to Tableau, the SharePoint to Alteryx and Tableau pieces in less than 30 minutes, stand up a blank template, and then it's up to you how elaborate you want to get with your dashboard. Our original problem statement is as Natalie just pointed out, Liz and I work together on the LSM team, Location and Space Management, and the relationship managers, they were responsible for creating an executive PowerPoint deck summarizing the movement activities within each of their portfolios. And then, as you can imagine, they were always overwriting each other's updates, and sometimes those overwrites and issues would make it through to the final deck that made it to the executives, and that's not fun. So that prompted Liz and I to think of a better way. We had to come up with a solution, and since we use Alteryx and Tableau to solve just about everything, we put our heads together and designed a more sustainable solution here to help democratize the data, to allow folks to provide their updates without having to contact us. We still oversee and support them, but they can do most of the work themselves and make them last-minute updates. And again, since they're making the updates, instead of making it directly in Excel or PowerPoint, they're making them in a SharePoint site. And this is commentary updates that are that add color to an executive dashboard where your system of record provides all of your cells and issues and et cetera to actually enhance that. The executives that report to that dashboard can put in their own commentary. So Liz is going to go ahead and walk you through some fairly simple steps we took to put this together and free up our times and free us up from having to be a go-between, and allow people, again, that don't have Alteryx or Tableau licenses or training to take care of these updates. So Liz, take it away.
Thanks, Tony. So you've created a beautiful dashboard. As Tony mentioned, for our example, we're using Superstore data. You've created this great dashboard, and you just need to have a little bit more information from your non-technologists. I'll just go through this quickly. We hope that we use Superstore data. We hope everyone's familiar with it. Obviously, our proprietary data at Bank of America we can't share, so it's a great level setting here. We want you to use your imagination on how this could be extrapolated for your business. So while it's Superstore data, start thinking outside the box about how this could potentially work for you and your teams. So today we're going to focus on just the Executive Overview Dashboard tab. We've made a few changes to the Superstore dashboard to suit for our example. We skinnied down the data to just show the orders in 2021. I know no one wants to review 2021, but data's data, and we'll just move on from there and hopefully not repeat another 2021 ever. We also created a free filter that allows us to see the monthly updates from the regional managers as part of the Superstore data. Our SMEs, in our case, regional managers, in our real life case, it was relationship managers. They don't use Alteryx or build in Tableau. They're not technologists. They have a skill set, absolutely, but that does not include Alteryx or Tableau. But they do need to have a little bit of input into their into these dashboards. They do have the insight and knowledge in their body of work. We added their insights to a web-based forum that allows their content to publish to a Tableau dashboard. So this might sound familiar to some of you needing non-technologist expertise, including your dashboards. I've yet to be in a role where that hasn't been the case, where you need just a little bit more context from somebody else, and this will hopefully allow us to do that. So we're going to follow the West region. We will choose the West region in the filters, and this brings us to our regional manager, Sadie Pawthorne, again in our Superstore data. Doublemint Gum. So this is Sadie's commentary from January. Colorado sales teams travel California to shadow for best practices. It's successful Oregon and Arizona teams to follow. Doublemint Gum disrupted the expected spearmint trends. Blue and yellow expected to overcome red, yada, yada, yada. So Doublemint Gum disrupted the expected spearmint trends. Shock of shocks, that actually is not accurate today. and Sadie needs to go in and make an update to incorporate her latest information, her latest commentary. So the conclusion is going to change to winter fresh, surprisingly strong sales expected to disrupt recent spearmint trends. So Sadie and her team need to do that, need to update the dashboard. So and she can do this the same way she submitted her original update via a web-based tool. At the bank, we use SharePoint and InfoPath for, in our example. Tony mentioned, or you could also use Power Apps or DFFS, Nintex. There are other opportunities out there, whatever your company uses. But as I said, we're using SharePoint and InfoPath, for example, for the non-technologists to report out on their work. And we're just going to go through real quick what that looks like. So a major pain point, as Tony mentioned, was using PowerPoint and Excel or email, et cetera. A major pain point there was version control and overwriting each other's work. We want to manage that risk down, and we also wanted the ability to track changes. So this web-based form includes sections for the non-technologists to update their commentary analysis, and this allows for multiple users to concurrently update without overwriting each other's information. And then as an added bonus, versioning is controlled. SharePoint is great for version control. You can find out who wrote what when. There's an audit trail. So as this information is updated, we then allow it to be published to Alteryx, and then that publishes it to the executive dashboard on the Tableau server. We're trying to democratize our data using tools to enable people without licenses or tech know-how to directly participate in the dashboards that reflect their work. So once they make their updates, they submit and then publish to the dashboard, and that's the full turn. From here, in Alteryx, they just need to run through a series of clicks to run. You don't need an Alteryx license to run an Analytics app. A non-technologist can click through these run buttons as well as anyone else can. And then the workflow runs. So this example is run on Alteryx server, but you don't need Alteryx server. An Analytics app can be saved to a common share drive if the Alteryx server is not available, if you guys aren't using the server, which the servers are absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to do go ahead.
Oh, I was just agreeing with you, Liz. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. I was just agreeing, not disagreeing, just agreeing with you. I was agreeing with you. Go ahead, sorry.
Thanks, Tony. So if you're new to Alteryx Analytic apps, they're fairly easy to create. You click on the canvas of the app that you've created. You go over to the workflow. You go from standard workflow to analytic app. A little delayed here. And then that changes the workflow from a standard workflow to an analytic app. From there, you click on the magic wand, and you have a analytic app that you can use. You can see the little tiny lightning bolts icons above each tool. So Colorado team sales, the team travel. You'll see the update for Sadie come through. Development gum disrupts expected spearmint trends. And now Tony's going to actually walk through this in this whole sequencing live. You can see just how quick it can be. Tony?
Thank you, Liz. And let me know when you see my screen.
We can see your screen.
Great. And again, I apologize for the rudimentary look and feel of this. We had to use this Superstore data, and you see we got the Lorem Ipsum data filled in except for some commentary. But again, as Liz said, in version control, I'm sorry, in SharePoint here, you got version control and auditing and stuff like that. So the issue that Liz was just pointing to, the city of Hawthorne wanted to make a change to her commentary here. She wanted to change this double mint gum to say winter fresh. So there's her update. And you know what I'm going to do before I save that? I'm going to duplicate this tab. Bear with me a second here. And take this back. I'm not going to save that because what I want to show you is a couple of things. One, we just put the links right in the SharePoint site so that they can come here. If they make, because a lot of people like to come in here and make their edits right in this view. And after they do that, they can click this button, run the Analytic app. It'll take them right to that Alteryx workflow on the server. And they can come here and just view the actual dashboard, see what their updates look like after they made their updates to make sure they're really there. So the January updates that we're looking for here. What am I doing wrong here? Let's go and publish and see if that helps us. So I'm going to go ahead and save this winter fresh update. Maybe not. We just tested this right before the meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that new verbiage in here, save it, form save successfully. You can either click here to publish your updates, or I should have submitted it, publish updates here, or you can run the Analytic app here, but I'll just do it here, publish update. Okay. I'll do it from here, run the Analytic app. Liz and I both left this group and moved to new roles, and some of our permissions are not all of our permissions are what they used to be a couple of days ago, so apologize for that. So that Analytic app is running on the server right now. The app ran, and now actually I'm going to just click back and go to the Tableau dashboard from this link. And I'm not quite sure why. Normally when you click this January right here, it would show the January commentary right here. Liz, you got any idea what I'm doing wrong or what's going on?
Yeah, why don't you, you've got a gray box over the filter, so choose the West.
Well, you know what? So I'm not seeing any filters over here. My view is not.
Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, something critically went wrong with this. I think with our hierarchy changes. But if your access is correct, and hopefully yours is a little less complicated than a major financial services company like Bank of America, hopefully you guys don't have to jump through so many hoops. This should work like the deck proposes.
Right, and so like I said, you would click this January. Like if a manager's looking at, they would come over here. If I had my filters, as Liz said, I would click on the West region, and then click on January, and it would show me say these comments right here explaining why these numbers are what they are, these profits, ratios, orders, etc. Or you can go look at a different month as well. But the key here is, again...
And we can see the static in the deck, Tony, if you want to pull that up rather than this.
Oh, yeah.
This slide.
Good point. So this is what the... right here. Let me go into... presentation mode. on the wrong screen. So as I was saying, I would have clicked the West filter. I would to look at, say, these comments over here. And with our organizational changes, our permission changes, I'm not sure how it affected our presentation here, but this is what it would look like if it were working.
Yeah.
But it's really, you know, trust me, we built some really slick internal dashboards with not just executive commentary, but a ton of different elements that are very dynamic and controllable by the people that are responsible for the data. I mean, you get your system of record, you know, database, your financials and everything from one source, but all of the color that the executives want to add around this reporting is automated, and they have the ability to do all that work without even having to call me or Liz. They can do it on their own. And in back, you know, I'm sure everybody, well, I shouldn't say I'm sure, but I know a lot of people here use SharePoint, and you know, with the version control capabilities of SharePoint and auditing capabilities. All right.
Great, thanks, Tony. So does anybody have any questions regarding this? We'd have you field those.
I have a question. And just making sure I'm on.
Great.
And anyone? Okay, super. So I am a power user of both Alteryx and SharePoint. So one thing I did not know is that you could access form data, you know, from Alteryx. It looked like on the workflow there was a tool that would allow you to go get the form data that might be populated from InfoPath. Can anyone just kind of touch on that for a second?
Yeah, so the InfoPath form, as Liz said, in our organization, we use InfoPath, but you can use DFS, Nintex, Power Apps, whatever you want, any kind of user interface, but that InfoPath writes to a SharePoint quote-unquote database. I mean, it's like a SQLite database is what SharePoint is. And so that's structured into fields, and then Alteryx can pull from SharePoint to publish it out to a Tableau dashboard, you know, configure it the way you want it, configure it in a dashboard. So it's a very, you know, basic functionality within the connections tab of the connectors, connectors tab. There's a Alteryx connector as well as a Tableau connector to read from and publish to SharePoint and Tableau.
Okay, so those SharePoint, and let's say you've got multiple users though, I would assume it's not logging all of those instances of an InfoPath update. It's probably going to take, I mean, I'm just assuming here, the most recent update from an InfoPath, store that, and then that could be accessed, or is there even a log of various, you know, paths of that data that got updated via InfoPath?
Well, it depends on how you structure it. I mean, when you build it out, if you've got multiple users, as we do, we have multiple users here, and each user writes their own records, and we pull that user's records in and publish their updates. I'm not quite sure.
I got you. It doesn't necessarily have to be the InfoPath form itself. It's just it ends up in the list, and basically you're grabbing that list data from the user.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, InfoPath just makes it simple, just a quick, simple. With InfoPath, you know, you can have drop downs and you know all kinds of pickers to make it real easy for them to quickly fill out the form versus free form, and then that structures the data for you, makes it a lot easier with Alteryx. Yeah.
Yep, I got it. I just was kind of thinking it was actually getting the data from the form. It's not. It's getting the data from the list. It just kind of confused me on that. But okay, no, that's great to know. All right, thank you very much.
Yep. And Brian, I would encourage you to join our Alteryx user group meetings well, I'm not sure if you're in the Charlotte area, but hopefully we'll be getting together face-to-face in the near future, one of our next meetings, and you know, bring those kind of questions and we can all work on it together.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, I am in Charlotte. So look forward to meeting you.
Or ping me offline even. I'm always willing to help. Great.
Most
Thank you.
definitely. Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? If not, we'll hand it off to Rob for the Alteryx updates. Take it away, Rob.
Thanks, Tony. Hi, Rob Dalley. Working at Daimler Trucks, helping the finance folks get them up to speed on tools like Alteryx and Tableau and other automation aspects of it. Community updates. So let's go through them quickly. First off, I want to talk about training. For those of you that are more of like in the Tableau space and not the Alteryx space, Alteryx offers quite a bit of instructions through their Alteryx Academy. And the first thing you'd want to do if you're new to Alteryx is to go to alteryx.com and join the community there, create an account, and that'll allow you to explore all these different training opportunities. What I think is interesting is the new section up there in the top, the instructor-led training. They're going to more of a sort of online real-time access to training, which is kind of convenient rather than trying to schedule physical travel and whatnot. Also, I wanted to point out is this new testing regimen called micro-credentials, which is really nice. It allows you to, rather than go through the different certification tests like core and advanced and other larger tests, you can test your Alteryx knowledge with these micro credentials. They run 40 questions and they're 1 hour long versus the core and the advanced, which run 2 hours and 80 questions. So when you go to those more advanced tests, it's pretty big time commitment. So this micro credentials, I think, is a great opportunity to brushing up, test your skills, and then get ready for the core. And by the way, it's free, and also the core and the advanced testing is free as well. So check that out. So we have a new release, 2022. Personally, we're not on this release yet, so I don't have a hands-on real-time experience with it. But what they've done in 2022 is they've kind of freshened the interface. I looked at it, it's not dramatically different, but it's a little bit more new look and feel. I think probably the most notable change for 2022 is the AMP engine update. The AMP engine is this new analytics engine that Alteryx is using multi-processing, multi-threading in each of their tools. What they've been doing over the last few earlier releases, every tool has been receiving AMP updates. So kind of switching behind the scenes to this new processing engine. And with 2022 by default, AMP is the engine that it will use going forward. The hope and the expectation is that your processing times will be greatly reduced. Kind of coinciding with this latest release, if you're joining the user experience research panel, it gives you an opportunity to kind of see what's coming down the road. Personally, I am involved in that, and so I do either sort of some user testing with Alteryx or check out some beta features, which is always nice to see what's coming down the road. So if you're kind of interested in that thing, Alteryx is very, very supportive in that area, allowing you to kind of see the new production pipeline. And then lastly is something sort of not as big a scale as Salesforce buying Tableau, but this is Alteryx buying Trifecta. And this is a tool that I've always considered to be sort of competing with Alteryx, although like Alteryx in our situation is more of an on-prem kind of solution. We do have some cloud, but not so much. And Trifecta is really kind of strong in the cloud environment. And so these two are kind of complementary for the Alteryx portfolio. And, you know, going back to the beta world, Alteryx has been introducing more and more of a designer cloud solution. And so that is really going to be the future for Alteryx, that you're going to begin using designer from the cloud rather than having install on your machine. So this is interesting. We'll see where it goes. Personally, this environment, like I said, is we don't do a lot of cloud at Daimler Truck right now, but we do have Azure, and so this might be interesting going to the future. So it's a big deal, and we'll see how that mashup works out. I think that's it. We're ready for Derrell.
All right, thanks, Rob. Just a few updates for the Tableau community. I'm one of our Tableau leaders here at Wells Fargo in Charlotte. If you guys want to connect, feel free to on LinkedIn. But once we jump into our updates, the 2022 Tableau ambassadors have been released. So take a look at the new faces that are there on Tableau Public, as well as what they're posting on Twitter. A lot of new ideas, fresh ways to use Tableau, especially if you haven't used the tool in a while. There's tons of new features. So this is a good way to stay abreast of new content. Makeover Monday, this was something that was really big a couple of years ago, is now coming back. Andy Kriebel is starting that, as well as Watch Me Viz on Mondays. There's a YouTube video where you can actually watch him create the visualization, and on Wednesday, they actually have design reviews. So if you want to submit your Viz, brush up on your Tableau skills, take a look at your data design and data visualization, this is a really great opportunity. And then 2020.2 is the latest version that we've seen. If you guys have attended our prior session, our Tableau session, we learned a little bit about data stories. There's a couple of other features here. Take a look at the product lists below to see all of the new features coming in the latest version of Tableau.
Great.
All right.
Thanks, Derrell, for the updates, and Rob as well. We'll turn it over to Jeremy now for trivia.
All right, let's have some fun. So we're gonna play a little bit of a trivia game here. Everybody, let me know when you can see the QR code. Okay. You should be able to scan this QR code and get to a Google form. There are going to be three kind of qualifying questions. Need you to enter your name, your email address. We will not show those email addresses on the screen, so your emails are secure with us. Those are simply for getting prizes to you if you win the game. There will be a third question around which tool you use the most, Alteryx, Tableau, or both. Technically, I allowed you to enter neither as well, but I imagine everyone here has at least some preference. That'll be followed by 8 questions that kind of span the Alteryx and Tableau space. I'm just going to ask everybody to use the honor system here. Don't Google, don't cheat. Let's see what you know. It's all for fun. We've got a couple of prize packages we'll be able to send out. I think we're looking for 2 winners. If we have more, if we have some ties we can't settle, we'll try and get some more gear, but looking at 2 winners initially. Any issues? I don't have the chat open. Any issues with accessing the QR? Awesome. All right, so it's 12:42. I'll give everybody about I don't know, let's do 3 minutes till about 12. Let's do through 12:45 to get your responses entered. I'll ask everybody if they have enough time, and then I'll close it. Anyone still need the QR, or can I move to another screen?
You can move. I put it in the WebEx chat.
Great, thank you. So what you'll see on that form, you'll see the following questions. I'm not going to give you any hints about right answers, but you'll see first question, who was not part of the trio who founded Tableau? Number 2, in what U.S. city is Alteryx headquartered? Number 3, which icons are associated with preparation tools? Which of the following is not a standard chart in Tableau's Show Me menu? What is the name of this tool? In Tableau, which date formula would you use to calculate the number of days between order date and ship date? In Alteryx, which tool would you use to pivot horizontal data onto a vertical axis? And then finally, what do green pills in Tableau represent?
I mean by that is you can have a web page.
I think we have somebody who might be unmuted.
Show
So if
information.
you're giving away your right answers, beware. All right, so we've got these 8 questions. I'll give everybody another about a minute and a half before I lock the survey. Just for fun, because this is a joint Tableau Alteryx event, we will then process those submissions via Alteryx and reveal the winners via Tableau. So just have to have a little fun there. So, all right, we'll give everybody about 1 more minute. And then we will lock the responses. So make sure you get your submissions in, and we will process and reveal the winners here shortly. Natalie, do you think you can improve on your 25% from the test run earlier? How confident are you?
I'm sure somebody's going to do better than I did.
All right, we'll see if anybody can make the 100% club here. All right, I'll give anybody, if you're still working through the trivia, pop a note in the chat real quick and we'll leave it open. Otherwise, we'll get ready to close it in about 30 seconds. If one of you guys can monitor the chat and let me know if there's anybody who needs more time.
Comments in the chat. You can probably go right ahead.
All righty, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No longer accepting responses. All right, let's have some fun. All right, so we put together a quick little workflow here that's going to read that Google Sheet. It's going to move the field names from the first row into the headers. It's going to transpose that data. It's going to order or rename a field or two, join it with the answer key, mark which answers are correct, and then output a file for Tableau to consume. I've got my tiebreaker randomizer tool ready to go in case we need it, but here we go. Let's go ahead and run. All right, that was fast. So here we are. So now we've created our Tableau file or our Tableau data source. Now we're going to reopen our Tableau dashboard and we are going to see who won. And it looks like we have 3 winners at roughly 85%. Doesn't look like we had anybody in the 100% club. Looks like we've got Richard, Liz, and Beth. Although I know Beth is in a conference room. Beth, are you using the combined wisdom of Danielle and Annalie, or is it or are we one person there? We'll let them respond. There you go. All right, so we've got 3 winners here. William, not eligible for the prize, but coming in down here close to the prize territory. All right.
Hard quiz, Jeremy.
What's that?
It was a hard quiz. Good job.
All right, so the correct answer is who is not part of the trio. That's our good friend Francois. Alteryx, founded or headquartered in Irvine, California. Preparation tools are blue circles. Donut charts are not standard charts in Tableau. What is the name of this tool? It was a dynamic input, which is probably one of the best tools in the entire designer workflow. In Tableau, which date formula would you use to calculate the number of days? That would be a date diff. In Alteryx, which tool would you use to pivot horizontal data onto a vertical axis? Transpose. And then green pills are continuous fields. So it looks like people knew the Alteryx questions a little bit more, about a 70% response or correct rate there. versus about 61-ish for Tableau. Alteryx people, looks like we had the most of those. Still do some Tableau stuff. All right, so Richard, Liz, Beth, we'll reach out to you guys in terms of getting you guys some swag. I hope everybody enjoyed the game. I think we ended up with 12 or so, or 18 or so respondents. So very cool. All right, that's it for trivia. We'll reach out. We'll use the emails you've provided and connect with you in terms of getting you a prize pack.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeremy. That was a lot of fun. All right. So we would really appreciate if everyone would take a minute or so and complete the simple survey. This feedback regarding our user group meeting is greatly appreciated because we're always looking for ways to improve. So you can scan the barcode, or I'm going to include it in the WebEx chat. So we greatly appreciate if you take a moment to complete this simple survey. While you're completing the survey, if you're ever interested in presenting at the Alteryx or Tableau user group, please don't hesitate to reach out to any of the leadership team. We would love to have you. If you have any ideas or anything that you want to learn more about, again, reach out and we'll see if we can get it on the agenda. All right, I'm going to give it another minute or so for you guys to go through the survey. All right, we're going to open it up for Q&A. If you have any questions regarding any of the presentations today or anything in general related to Alteryx or Tableau, now is your time to ask away.
So I don't have a question. I just wanted to say that I thought that that was an excellent trivia method, and the whole, because you're A1, you're displaying the power of all of these tools together, and I haven't actually seen that before on any of these group meetings. I haven't been on all of them. A couple months ago, I got to be on one, but a lot of people in our organization certainly don't know of that type of capability and that kind of quick real-time input, response, and visualization of the data. And I was very impressed with how fun that was, like to be able to just do that, and then to be able to, everyone just broke the data down that quick and easy. It's an excellent demonstration of the power of these tools.
Appreciate that, Brian. It was fun to put together. Wanted to again show the power of the combination of the tools, even mainly because none of those trivia apps that thrived during the early days of the pandemic are free anymore. So I had to use free solutions.
Yeah, it was really nice. Really nice.
Appreciate that.
So reach out to Jeremy for all your trivia needs. It's one of his many side jobs that he has. You can find him on LinkedIn. All right. Any other questions or feedback, comments?
Hey, I want to make one comment. I saw someone actually pass the Alteryx Advanced exam, and I want to congratulate them. That's a big accomplishment. It's not easy.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Great work.
Yeah.
Kathy.
Let's start doing that more often, recognizing everyone's achievement for completing the certifications. Well done. All right. Any other questions or comments or feedback? Okay. Well, again, this session was recorded. We will release it to you all as soon as possible. Really appreciate everyone taking the time today to join us. and be on the lookout for upcoming Alteryx and Tableau user group events. Hopefully we're able to get back in person soon. Thanks everyone, and I hope everyone has